Okay guys, I've got the air turned on, so let me give you a demonstration of what the air gun looks like and sounds like when she's plugged into power. Now, let me just mention that this is supposed to work with around 100 to 110 foot-pounds when everything's together working properly. So, there's the trigger. Hold that. She was stuck a little, she hadn't run a while. They do require some oil. I'm not sure if I got any oil for it kicking around or not. I'll have to get some. But anyway, this button right here, as I mentioned, changes directions. You know, probably hard for you to see, but that's going clockwise. I push this button here from the front. Now it's going counterclockwise. So that's the way I want it to take the lug nuts off. Now I'm not going to loosen every lug nut right now because I don't have the car on the jack yet, which I'm going to show you here in a moment. But here's our wheel. All we do. Now this makes a lot of noise. It's a pain in the ass in that sense. You get your lug nut to fit on there the way it's supposed to while it's attached to the gun. And then you pull the trigger. It'll spin the nut off, just that easy. Okay, that's only one. There's still four holding on. I just want to demonstrate that for you. So we'll just drop that right out of the socket there. And there's your lug nut. So we've got 5 of those. Usually a good idea to flip your cap up and put them inside your cap so you don't misplace or lose any of them. You don't want to be driving around missing one or two. I've driven around with one missing, but definitely wouldn't want to drive around with 2 missing. It's better not to have any missing. Okay, so we're going to set the camera right there for a second, and I'm going to explain the jack. Obviously, the car has to come up off the floor in order to be able to take the wheel off. And when you take it up off the floor, you need a jack of some sort. There's many different types. I've got a little small hydraulic jack that I'll put in underneath the jack point of the car and jack it up enough to get the wheel off. One thing you want to keep in mind whenever you're doing something like this, don't always rely on your jack to hold your vehicle up. Safety reasons, you jack your car up with the jack. Don't just jack it high enough to get the wheel off. Jack it high enough to put a jack stand or some blocks or something underneath that will stabilize the car in the event that the jack gives way. Those jacks can give way. And there's many injuries and deaths occur because of a jack that didn't hold the car up. Guys will jack their car up on the jack, crawl underneath it and figure out we're fine, and all of a sudden something happens to the jack, he's under the car and the car comes down, that's it. So you definitely want to make sure that you put some secondary measures in place, and I mean, you know, as many as you want, but at least a secondary measure in case your jack gives way. So I've got jack stands, I'll show you that in a minute. First of all, let me explain my jack. Very small hydraulic jack, but it's plenty for jacking up your standard vehicle like this. This jack is designed for a vehicle like this. And on every vehicle like this, there are jack points in all 4 corners of the vehicle. You just have to find out where they are, and the operator's manual will tell you where they are. On this one, we've got, I don't know if I can show you exactly, but what we've got is underneath the edge of the vehicle, in this corner right here, approximately right in this area, but in underneath on the frame, we have what's known as a jack point. And you can see that really rusty spot right there. That really rusty spot right there. Well, there's more than one, but I'm talking about this guy right here. That's a jack point. Put your jack pad right underneath that, and that's strong enough to jack the car. Or you could go in and jack them into the subframe. But on an older vehicle, when the subframe starts to rust a bit, being the integrity of the vehicle, you don't want to jack it up on that, because if it's rusted a bit and you crimp it or crumple it or damage it in any way, then you compromise the integrity of the vehicle structure. So it's better to jack it on the jack point, which is what I'm about to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide in to where it's just under the jack point, right there. And then on most of these hydraulic jacks, you'll find a section right. I'll see if I can show you exactly here so you understand. You're going to find a section where there's a little device like this. Now this is a screw. It screws in and out. Basically it's got a taper on the end so that it seals. Now when you back it out, it unseals and opens up a cavity in there that allows the hydraulic fluid to flow back into the chamber, the jack. When you drop the vehicle down, the weight on the vehicle will push this back down. This will raise the vehicle up, but that'll push that back down. So you turn it counterclockwise to open it. That's to let the jack down. You turn it clockwise to make sure that it's tight enough that it seals. And when you move the jack handle up and down, you're going to get the proper compression action that you need for the jack to lift the vehicle. So I'm going to demonstrate that just as soon as I get myself a wrench or a pair of vice grips or a pair of pliers or something to tighten that up. And essentially, you don't need a specific size wrench. You can use a pair of pliers. You don't have to tighten them that tight.